Hey, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to Life Mastery Decoded, where I help you decode the struggles in your life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality with mind mastery, emotional management, and meditation. Welcome to today's podcast. Hey, ladies, it's and I worked through some organizational stuff. And let me tell you a little backstory. I love organizing. I love it. I love it. It is a passion right next to public speaking. It is right next to personal development. It is right next to spirituality for me, as in the topics. And anytime someone says, oh my gosh, I wish I could just get through this room and I have so many things, I'm like, I'll help you. I just love it. I do it at almost every place that I work, where I organize the back room or the front office or something. And it's like one of the things that I just absolutely love. The other is Amy hates to organize. It is not a very strong skill of hers. So in our small house, our living room, we have a 6-foot table, just one of those folding, looks kind of like a card table, but it's very sturdy. And we actually used to use them in our booth. And temporarily, we would set it up in our living room, and she would use that basically as a desk. And I came out, this was a couple of nights ago, I came out into the living room, and she was sitting at this desk. And I'm not kidding. The place looked like a hurricane had gone through the office and had spread out all kinds of paperwork, from receipts to sticky notes to pens to her computer to bills, ripped envelopes, like opened envelopes so you get the bill out, and papers everywhere, and some inventory that we had gotten for our meditation room. And there's just crap everywhere. And then she's like, I'm feeling really overwhelmed. And I'm like, no kidding. There's no way that you can sit in front of this desk and not feel overwhelmed. I said, honey, how in the world are you like staying focused? She goes, I'm not. I can't. I can't focus. I'm like, no kidding. So I said, okay, listen, so it's spring break. We're all working during the day, but we're home at night. The boys are at their dad's. And I said, let's work this out. Let's try to find a couple of systems. And she did get really upset, and she's like, I'm a failure. My space is not organized, and I'm an absolute failure. And I said, listen, the system that you're using is failing you. You are not a failure, but the system you're using just is not working. And I said, so don't personalize with something that's not working. A system is only as good as it creates success for the person who's using it. So I said, we'll work this out. So tomorrow night, be prepared. We'll come home. We'll get some stuff. She loves buying office supplies. So I said, this is going to work. So she went to the store, got a few things, some little things that you can put on the desk. You can put some pens and pencils in and some file folders and stuff like that. So anyway, so I want to teach you basically the elements that create organization if you are not well organized. There's a couple of things that go to place. That you put in place. And those things are this. One is take all of the things that you do in the space. So if you're creating an office, so what we did in her desk, in her space, is what are the things that you do in the space? She pays bills, she does the schedule, we do our inventory count, we make phone calls, stuff like that. So you write those things down, okay? The next question is, what do I need in this space to do the task? Okay, so I pay bills. All right, well, I need something that holds the bills. So when the mail comes and it's a bill, it's going to go in this thing. Okay. Then I need a file system of when I'm done paying the bills, that they go here and then they get filed away. I need a calculator. I need my computer. I need a pen. I need envelopes and stamps. Okay, you make that list. Then you are sitting at your space and you say, okay, here's the list of all the things I need to do this task. Where do I want to put those things? Now, Jen, am left-handed, so I like to have the stapler on the left side of the desk. Simple things like that. So when I'm doing this task, the staple is there, the bills are there, the adding machine is there, okay, and then you just create your space. So easy enough. Once you've created that, then there's a couple of things to put into place. And that is, or knowing, is having a space that's organized takes a couple of things. One, good decision-making skills. So this helps you to make decisions. People are like, what are you talking about? I don't need to be a good decision maker to organize a space. Yeah, you actually do. Because you have to decide, am I keeping that thing? And if I'm not keeping it, am I throwing it away? Am I donating it? Am I gifting it to someone? That you have to make a decision. If I'm going to use this space to pay bills, what items do I want to put the bills in? What's the process that I'm going to put myself through to pay the bills? I'm going to take the bill out of the envelope. So do I need a letter opener? Yeah. Where am I going to put the letter opener? It can't just sit in the middle of the desk. It needs to have a home. So all of this helps to increase your decision-making skills. We all have to make decisions of every second of every day. I'm working on the computer, making some posts on my chakras group, and I immediately go, I have to record because I have podcasts that have to go out tomorrow and Thursday. So I need to record. And so then I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on this for 5 more minutes. I'm making a decision. I'm going to work on this for 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to record. And here I am recording. So decision-making skills. And I think it's kind of beautiful when you're wanting to create a lovely space for yourself, no matter what it is you're doing, whether it's a sanctuary and it's your meditation space, or it's your baby's nursery, or it's your son's bedroom, or your own living room. You have to make decisions about how you're going to function in this space, what you're going to do in this space, and what feel do you want to give it. Now, we're talking about Amy's desk. We want to give it the feeling of productivity, organizational skills, and accomplishment. Productivity, organizational skills, and accomplishment. We want it to be organized. We want it to feel good when we sit down. We want it to feel that we can accomplish things in this space. If you have shit everywhere, there is no way that you're going to feel accomplished. It's too overwhelming for the mind to be in this space if there's papers everywhere and you just can't see what you're doing. The next thing is not only decision-making skills, the next skill is completing the task. So as I was watching her yesterday, we started with bills and all of the items that she needs to do bills at this desk. And she had the drawers. They're just like these open drawers you put like files in. And I saw her take a plain envelope and put it on one of these shelves. And I said, okay, so what are you doing right there? And she said, I'm putting that envelope on the shelves. I said, do you plan on using that envelope? She goes, well, it goes in this folder, the folder that the envelope was sitting on. And I said, so what are you doing with it? She goes, I'm just going to set it here. I'm going to put it away later. And I said, no. I said, put it away right now. I said, so pull the folder out and it was just a blank envelope, and put the envelope in there. The whole process took 4 seconds, but she already wasn't using the system that we put into place because we made the decision, the folder's going to go here, the bills are going to go here. We made all those decisions. Now it's about completing the task. But instead of actually completing the task, she didn't take the 4 seconds to complete it. She just put the envelope on top of the folder that it was going to go into. So I'm like, okay, let's complete the task. When the bills are paid, when the diaper has been changed, and the process is these 5 steps. Okay, the baby's got the diaper, so you're going to put him up on the diaper change table. You're going to take the diaper off. What are you doing with the diaper? I'm going to put it in this bag. Then what are you doing? Well, once I get the clean diaper on, I get the baby off the change table. Then I'm going to scoop up the bag, tie it in a knot, and put it in the garbage. Okay, if you put the diaper in the garbage bin, in the garbage bag, get the baby off the change table, and then off you go, and you've skipped that step, your system stinks. literally. So now take the bag and go out and throw it in the garbage. This does two things. One, it works the success of your system, but also two, it gets it out of your mental capacity. Our mental capacity is short term. This is that part of our thinking that is short term, which is why you can't remember long term, like lists when you go to the grocery store. I need to get butter, milk, and pancake mix. If I think of it, and then I go to the grocery store and I'm like, okay, I need butter and milk and what? And now I'm in the grocery store getting distracted. Apples? No. Jelly? No. What was it? A case of beer? No. What the heck is it? I forget. It's short-term capacity. It's short, okay? If I am working in my household and I am doing these small tasks around the house, I'm asking you to complete the task fully. Because what it does is it takes it out of the mental capacity, which is short term, and keeps it clear, which means we are less likely to be overwhelmed. So let's say, for example, I'm watering the plants. Now I have a watering can that sits in the living room under these bookshelves, so it doesn't actually get knocked over. And I'm going to water the plants. So I've decided to do that. I reach under there, I grab the watering can, I water the plants, and now the watering can is empty or near empty. The task isn't complete yet, because now what I should do is take the watering can to the sink, fill it up with water, and put it back. That is completing the task. If I don't do that, now the watering can, it sounds ridiculous with this simple task, but now the watering can not being full is now staying in my mental capacity. Don't forget to water that, or don't forget to fill that. Don't forget to fill it. It stays in there. It's teeny tiny. It doesn't take up a lot of room, but it's still in my mental capacity. You will notice a huge shift in your thinking if you complete tasks. It doesn't take that long to do it, because now it's like, now I'm just going to go. I'm going to go back and lay down, or I'm going to go outside for a walk, or I'm going to go do something else, or whatever. Is that go finish it. Same as her. She's like, I'm just going to put the envelope here. I'll take care of it later. No, please take care of it right now, because it serves a purpose in your success, in your accomplishment, and your mental capacity being freed up. Because you ever notice that when you start a day, you feel good, your mind feels amazing, you feel clear, you feel great, and then by the end of the day, you're like thoroughly overwhelmed? It's because of all those little teeny tiny tasks that didn't get complete that are stuck in your mental capacity. They are overflowing. And since I have started completing tasks, because there's times where I get to, I just fixed one of our displays for our booth, and it was, getting the drill out and getting the saw out and getting the sandpaper and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm cold, whatever. And I leave all that crap out. And then I come downstairs a couple hours later. I'm like, dang it, put it away. But now that I start putting things away, my mind feels so clear. My thinking is clear. I suffer sometimes with dealing with overwhelm, and so I did a lot of studying on different techniques, and completing tasks is definitely one that helps me. So now we're talking about organizing space, make decisions, then complete the task. Here's another example that she did yesterday. She has a small filing cabinet behind her, and all the bills were going in there. So she hands me this giant stack of bills. So we unfold them, because they're always like tri-folded. I put them in order, like here's this credit card, here's the electric bill, here's the water bill, here's what I put them all in order, spreading them all over the living room. And then she says they need to be in date order. And I'm like, okay, so I separated all the bills. Then I took all the piles, there were like 17 piles, and I put them all in date order. And then she's like, okay, and then she's like, okay, just put them back in one big stack. And I'm looking at her blinking, not saying anything. And I'm like, what do you mean, just put them in a stack? She goes, we'll do it later. I said, no, we're doing it right now. I said, here's what we'll do. You open the file drawer, take one file folder out at a time, tell me what it is, and I will hand you the stack. I said, honey, it's going to take us 6 minutes to do that. And she's like, okay. So then we did. Then there were 3 new credit cards that didn't have folders. And she goes, just put those together and we'll put them on top of the filing cabinet. And I'm looking at her, blinking, and I'm like, why? And she goes, I'll do it later. And then I'm blinking at her, looking at her, and she goes, okay, we'll do it right now. And I said, yeah, we'll do it right now. And she goes, but those file folders don't have tabs. Like they don't have the title, you know, the little sticky tabs that go on top that says what's in the file. They don't have tabs. And I'm just looking at her and I'm like, finish the task. Let's finish the whole thing. And we did 3 folders with labels and put the things in there. The task is 100% complete. Okay. So the last step to organizing your space is working the system. So we have a system in place for her to do bills. We have one of those small, I can't even begin to explain what it is. It's just this hardwired file thing, and you put, you know, like envelopes upright, and it's just a skinny, small file thing. I don't know what they're called. And anyway, I said, okay, so all the bills that need to get paid are going in the front of this. So when you sit down, you're going to pull this whole stack out. You're going to unclip them, and they're already in order from the date that they're due, the newest, the soonest due to the latest due. And they're all in date order. I said, you're going to pull those out. You have the adding machine, you have your computer, you have the files, you have things right behind you, whatever. And I said, we're going to go through this whole system, this whole process. They're already out of the envelopes. Then they get put in this place. Then from here, you take out 1 or 2 at a time. You get the computer, you pay them. Then when they're paid, they go in a stack here. Then from this stack, they go in the file folder. I said, so how many are you paying at a time? She's like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. I said, okay. So now you turn around, and in the filing cabinet is you put the 3 or 4 bills away. And the newest date is the front of the file. And she's like, okay. So the last step is working the system, because here's what happens. If you don't have a system in place to organize your space, things get built up. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to do things. You haven't created a system for things. And if I could take a picture and show you her before and after of her desk, it is amazing. But now there's 2 things that have to get put into place, and that is working the system and completing the tasks. Because if she doesn't do that, then these things will continue to get piled up. Now you've got a 7-inch stack on top of the filing cabinet of all of these items that need to get filed. And so yesterday, I would say the entire process probably took us 3 hours to go through an entire stack that had to get filed. And that is unfolding all of them. So they're 8 by 11 instead of folded up in that trifold, putting them in date order, separating the bills in categories, and then filing them, as well as coming up with the processes for all of the things that she uses the space for. Now, as long as she works the system, her desk and space will stay like this. It'll stay organized like this. Meaning now she's going to be organized, she's going to be accomplished, it's going to feel good, she's going to have clear mind, it's going to feel amazing to sit down at her desk. So this was funny. Yesterday I went into the living room. No, I went into the kitchen to do dishes, and she was working on the space, putting a few things away. And I came out from doing dishes, and she had all this crap all over the table. And I'm like, dude. And she's like, I know. She goes, I'm just in the middle of doing this, like organizing and putting these things away. And I'm like, come on. And it was really funny. I laughed really hard. And she's like, I'm just in the middle. I just haven't put it all away yet. And I'm like, okay. Because of course, a work in progress, just like if you're cleaning out a closet, your entire bedroom looks hideous and like a hurricane went through it. But when it's done, then it looks good. So she was in the middle of some organizing, but I was giving her a hard time. So I think if we go back to the very beginning, your steps are this. Take your space, whatever it is you're trying, whether it's a closet, your bedroom, it doesn't matter, whatever the space is, and ask yourself these questions. What am I using this space for? And list all of the things that you're going to do in that space. Then, what things do I need to do that task? I need a printer, I need a phone, I need some pens and pencils, I need a stapler, I need whatever, okay? Then the last question, and the most important, I think, how do I want this space to make me feel? I want to feel accomplished. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel calm. I want to feel excited. I want to feel passionate. I want to feel organized, whatever the emotion is. Then the last question, what do I need in order to create this? These are one of my favorite things to do. I just absolutely love organizing. And when you can ask these clarifying questions, it is definitely going to help you to mentally create your space. Because what we do is we move in, we put stuff wherever we want it to go, and then we just kind of try to work this system that we didn't really create, that we just kind of fall into this space and it doesn't really work for us. So if you can ask yourself those 4 questions, that is going to help you to create a beautiful space to work in. Then the next is make decisions. This is what helps you to keep your space organized. Make decisions. Do I want it? Am I keeping it? Am I getting rid of it? Am I gifting it? Where should this go? I'm left-handed, so it should go on this side. And then work the system a little bit and see how it goes. Play it a little bit. Like if it's a diaper change table, I don't want the diaper genie all the way over there. I'm going to have the dirty diaper in my hand here. So then put the diaper change, the diaper genie in this space, right? If I'm paying bills, I don't want the stapler over there. I'm left-handed. I want it to be on the right side. You know, if I have my computer there, then I need my charge cord here. I can give you 1,000 examples, but so you figured this out, right? Like for example, her adding machine, she wants it on the right side. She's right-handed. Well, I kept wanting to put it on the left side because I'm thinking, well, I'm left-handed. I would want it over here. She's like, well, I'm right-handed. Oh, and it is your desk. So you get to choose where it goes. And then the last is to complete the task. It might seem like it's easy to just let that task go. Don't put the envelope in the folder, just put the envelope on top of the folder. When you start doing those last few things, you end up with all these loose ends, and that boggles up and clogs up your mental capacity. That is the thing you want to be clear. You want your concentration to be improved upon, and you don't think that that's a big deal, but it totally is. And if you want a little bit more on completing the task and concentration, this is the episode for that. It is season 1, episode 35. It's titled The Art of Concentration, and it is all about completing the task. I wish you luck in getting yourself organized. And you think, what does this have to do with spirituality? Or what does this have to do? Calming the mind creates wonderful chance for inspiration and intuition to follow you. So go get organized, post in the groups. I'd love to hear how you're doing. If you come into our Lady Rising group, I would love for you to share what you've organized, how you've organized, and any epiphanies you may have had during this process. If you liked this episode, please share this with 3 of your friends. And if you like this episode and look forward to future episodes, please consider making a small monthly donation to help support this podcast. If you're looking for a community to join and have more access to me, then consider joining one of my communities. Chakras for Beginners is an energy-based community that is highly active and growing every day. Lady Rising is a sistership community where the focus is on spiritual support and empowerment. We hold monthly calls and talk about topics just as like today's episode. We also have an online store where we can meet your meditation and chakra needs with products for your journey. You can visit us at www.themeditationroomtc.com. Thank you for joining me and being a valued listener.